Defense Minister General Christopher Musa has denied any report of him resigning. He has also vowed to sue those who are behind the rumors. Crisis in Osun State as political opponents at each other's throat. Violence in the city of Osogbo ahead of the governorship election. The state is now in turmoil. Hello everyone, welcome to the program. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Akimale, live for you here in our Abuja studio. Let's begin with the news and the stories making the rounds that the Minister of Finance may be planning to resign, or in fact, those who were saying he had resigned. Today, he was at the presidential villa, and the federal government has equally dismissed the report as false, circulating on social media that the minister had resigned his appointment. And the minister was in the presidential villa after a meeting with the president and is vowed to sue, take legal action against those who have purportedly put the story on. And they said that he's going nowhere.
Yeah, thank you very much.
We're surprised. We learned you have resigned.
I don't know. I too, I was shocked when I saw that. I don't know where that came from. But, well, you always expect that there'll be people that will not be happy when things are going well. Security situation is improving. Things are getting better. And so for them, is a sad point, and they will always want to make it look as if it's not so. I'm not going anywhere. I have never discussed. I don't even know who the person who brought that information. But whoever he is, we'll take the legal action against him. I'm sure we'll get him. He will come and explain who gave him such information. But I assure Nigerians that we're fully. You can see I just came back from briefing Mr. President on the current security situation, and he's very happy with us. And now we're going to continue doing well. And I want to seize this opportunity to appreciate Nigerians for all the support. The support has been massive, and you can see the changes. And that's why we say to defeat the terrorists and the bandits is a whole of society approach. And now Nigerians are key into it, and things are getting better, and they will continue to improve.
That's the Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa, denying claims that he has resigned his appointment. We shall be digging into what they say they are digging in Nasarawa State. They say they've dug lithium. How much of the lithium money is going into Nasarawa State? Is it an audio money or real money? We'll be finding out tonight. And so the governor of Nasarawa State has visited the Vice President Kashim Shettima. In what other opposition party members in the opposition are saying that Muslim ticket is going to be the albatross of APC at the election in 2027. Then I'll take you to Osun, where we're going to briefly be talking about what is happening. There are machetes on the streets of Osogbo. What is causing it? Details after I've served you with your political roundup stories.
The Senate has expanded the mandate of its ad hoc committee investigating the implementation of the Safe School Initiatives SSI program to include TED Fund, the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NEL Fund, the Universal Basic Education Commission, UBEC, the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, and the National Social Investment Programs Agency, NCIPA. The upper chamber also granted the committee a 3-week extension to conclude its investigation. The resolution followed the adoption of a motion sponsored by the chairman of the ad hoc committee, Senator Oji Kalu, pursuant to Orders 41 and 51 of the Senate Standing Orders 2026 as amended, seeking an expansion of the committee's term of reference and additional time to complete its assignment. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, says President Bola Tinubu's economic reform alongside the 4.65 trillion naira banking sector recapitalization recapitalization are strengthening Nigeria's financial safety net and building depositors' confidence. Speaking at the opening of the International Association of Deposit Insurance Africa Regional Committee annual meeting in Abuja, the minister explained that a better capitalized banking system means a more resilient safety net, with 33 of 37 banks meeting new capital requirement, and Nigeria's exit from the grey list of the Financial Action Task Force, further boosting trust in the financial system. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mr. Lateef Fagbemi, is calling on anti-corruption institutions across West Africa to break what he describes as the silence of financial crime, saying the region's rapidly evolving criminal landscape demands stronger collaboration, innovation, and decisive enforcement to tackle transnational corruption. He noted that corruption cannot be discussed as a criminal justice matter alone, other than West African nations must strive to build societies where corruption becomes harder to perpetrate and accountability stronger than impunity. He made the call at the maiden edition of the Leadership Conference of the Network of National Anti-Corruption Institutions in West Africa. Meanwhile, the Forum of National Youth Leaders of all political parties in Nigeria is planning to mobilize youth for a protest against South Africans living in Nigeria after the expiration of its 30-day ultimatum on July 31. Addressing a news conference in Abuja, the chairman of the forum, Mr. Eze Onyebuchi, presented a draft of the letter sent to the South African High Commission in Nigeria, expressing the forum's dissatisfaction with the handling of xenophobic attacks against Nigerians in South Africa and calling on South Africans to leave Nigeria before July 31. The new Nigeria People's Party is urging its members and supporters across the country to remain united and continue mobilizing at the grassroots level ahead of the 2027 general election. Speaking at a news conference in Abuja, the national chairman of the party, Mr. Agbo Major, announced that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has reinstated the original logo of the party on its portal after months of legal dispute over the party's identity, describing the development as a major victory for the rule of law and constitutional democracy. On preparations for the forthcoming elections, Mr. Major disclosed that despite legal challenges and time constraints, the party successfully uploaded a total of 365 National Assembly candidates, including placeholders across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. Lastly, in Adamawa State, the governorship candidate of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, for the 2027 election, Mr. Omar Suleiman Umarada, has outlined an agenda which centers on agricultural transformation, rural infrastructure, security, and youth development. The governorship hopeful made this disclosure during a media briefing at the Nigerian Union of Journalists Press Center in Yola, the state capital. According to him, his administration will prioritize modern agriculture that will unlock the state's economic potential if elected into office as governor of the state.
There you have it. You've been served with your political roundup stories. First and foremost, before I get talking with the governor of Nasarawa State, let me take you to Osun State, where we've seen today a report of violence which started about yesterday. This is part of the issue that have been raised by the Imole campaign organization, which is Governor Adeleke re-election council. And have raised some very critical issues as to the fairness and INEC's conduct of the plan for the elections. They're asking 10 critical questions for the elections. But the governor has condemned the disruption of public peace at motor parks in Osogbo following reported clashes involving supporters of the APC, allegedly who were said to have unleashed mayhem in the city. A statement from the governor alleged that individuals led by Ashiri Eniba carried out shootings and intimidation at motor parks, calling security agencies to arrest those responsible and restore order. Tonight, let's speak with the chairman of the Imole Campaign Council and a member of the House of Representatives, Honorable Bamidele Salam, who is live virtually for us in Osogbo. Honorable Bamidele Salam, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me. Good evening, Sean. Good evening, Nigerians. Thank you.
Why are Osun people giving Osun a bad name because of the election? All of a sudden, Osun State has now become a theater of war because of this election. Both of those who are wearing yellow and the other camp, they are wearing red, white, and the other colors. It does look like you are from different countries altogether and at each other's throat. Why is this election this violently being contested for?
Well, unfortunately, Sean, we are saddened by this turn of events. We are shocked that some people can be this desperate for power and be so careless in the manner in which they are pursuing powers. And don't forget, we have been saying this for quite a while. All these things are on record. The Mali Campaign Council have addressed so many press conferences, made several releases to the effect that the plan of the APC in Osun State is to cause chaos. Their plan is to make the state appear to the rest of the world as being unable to conduct itself in a civil manner, even though they are in the minority, gross minority, because of the collaboration, especially of the police in Osun, under the State Commissioner of Police. They have been able to get away with so many illegalities, so many criminalities. And the latest of which is what happened yesterday and today in Oshogbo, in Ilesha, and a few other parts of Osun, which is what? Now, the man called Ashiri Eniba, a very notorious thug, who has been mentioned severally in our press releases, who have been called out by several organizations and peace loving organizations, decided that he was going to seize the control of motor parks in Oshogbo, Ilesha, Ile-Ife, and assume the leadership of the Nigerian National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW, a body registered by law, a body known to the Register of Trade of Nigeria, and having a specific, undeniable leadership, who under Nuruddin Alowonle, who has been chairman of the NURTW in Osun State for the past 3 years. All of a sudden, this Mr. Ashiri Eniba woke up and got the backing of some policemen to go around shooting in motor parks, scaring away passengers, chasing NURTW members away from the motor park, only for one reason shown. And the reason is what we have got to learn a few days ago, that in the strategic meeting of the APC Osun, they decided that they were going to sabotage the logistic chain of the INEC in the forthcoming election. Don't forget that the INEC will rely on the NURTW to provide vehicles, buses, cars, and so on, to move election materials to various parts of the state. We have about 3,700 polling units in Osun, and their decision is that they were going to sabotage that logistic plan through causing chaos and seizing ownership of these motor parks and the union in Osun. And because of that, he went about shooting guns, maiming people, injuring so many other persons, and we have policemen on tape. We have civil defense officers on tape, pictures and video, providing cover for a notorious thug, Ashiri Eniba, as he moved from one motor park to another yesterday and today, seizing motor parks and claiming he has assumed leadership of the NURTW, without any basis whatsoever. This is a body, like I said, that is known to law, with a defined leadership, incontrovertible leadership, no faction, nothing.
But honorable, it does look. Just a moment, honorable. It does look like this is some kind of balance of force, of violence. And the IGP told the governor that the rumor or the story is that the governor is also harboring criminals and thugs in the confines of the government house. Have these personalities been released out there? Because they say they go under the cover of the governor's convoy and they live and the police are searching for these people. Have those people been released?
I'm sure when the IGP said that, you also had the governor's response. And if you didn't, or if there's anybody who missed that, I will tell you what the response told him. The governor told the IGP. The governor told the IGP that you are here rehashing what the APC, has told you, the propaganda of the of the Osun APC, which they have said over and over again, and that I hereby challenge the Commissioner of Police. If there's any known thug or anybody in this government house, I give him authority to go after such a person. And that even if his own child, the governor said this also, that even if his own son is found to have committed any crime or harboring thugs or carrying weapon on it, I give you authority to arrest and charge that person to court. Now, this was what the governor said in the open till today, that the Commissioner of Police, who has been compromised, a man who has shown himself to be incapable of living by the oath of office and the responsibility of effective policing, has not supplied the names of such persons, has not said anything, no credible intelligence anywhere as to where they are. Now, Governor Ademola Adeleke is not that kind of a character. He's not a person who will encourage violence. He won't condone violence. He won't sponsor violence in any form. He hates it. His character does not go along with this kind of politics. And he has said it several times that nobody's blood is worth his ambition. Let's play the politics of responsibility or responsible leadership. Let's allow the
Honorable, do you know what the opponents are saying right now in Osogbo, in Osun State? They are saying the reason why you are crying foul this early in the day, Honorable, the opposition are saying the reason why you are crying foul and raising some of these doors is because you have a feeling that you are going to be beaten as a political party. Do you have the confidence of the people about this election? And the thing that, the feeling in the opposition side, and I'm allowing you to be able to respond to them, is the fact that the thing that you are overwhelmed already, and that the loss at the election is imminent. Are you worried about the loss?
The Osun APC know the truth. They know by all means that they do not stand any chance at all in a free and fair contest to even come close to winning 5 local governments out of 30. They don't stand any chance, and they know. They have done their own opinion sampling. They have seen the result, and that is why they are getting this desperate. And all we are saying is that the Inspector General of Police, the president, especially the president of the country, should weigh in and call these people to order and give the police a marching order that they must be professional, they must be neutral. They shouldn't rely on the so-called ability of doing anything under federal force to come and be muscling the accord in Osun and intimidating people and allowing non-state actors to wield guns and machete openly and go scot-free. I have said this several times in so many interviews. We have them on video in APC branded buses branded with the picture of the candidate of the party in Osun, Mududin Oyebanji, brandishing weapon in broad daylight. They went to kill people in Ilobu, they went to kill in Ikire, they went to kill everywhere. They are just shooting and no single arrest. Only in one case has an arrest been effected, and that was because of the fact that the IGP came then and we presented him with all these facts. And after
Honorable, quickly, Honorable, just let me jump in quickly.
They don't stand any chance.
Perhaps
they cannot even match the governor's street credibility, and that is why. But we don't want a zone where they will turn this state into a theater of war. We don't.
Can you hear me?
It, and we are saying that even if our own members, I'm sorry, please, I must say this. Even if a member of the accord is caught, a member or supporter is caught with any weapon, arrest the person and charge him to court and let the whole world see.
Talk to me about, quickly, Honorable, talk to me about those 10 posers you're raising against INEC. And you are asking INEC to do this and do that. Have you lost confidence in the ability of INEC to conduct a free and fair election?
No, not at all. And these posters are not raised against. It's not against INEC. It is rather to raise the consciousness of INEC and other stakeholders to the pitfalls which have been observed in recent elections. The election in Ekiti, the FCT election in Abuja, the one in Nasarawa, the one in Enugu, the one in Kano, all recent by-elections. We sat down and analyzed those pitfalls, non-functioning of beavers. You saw that, you reported that yourself in one of the polling units in Ekiti. I watched it, where beavers was not functioning for so many hours. There are video of people who were collecting PVCs from a particular individual and who were allegedly going to use those PVCs to vote in places where they were not registered voters. We had instances where people got to the polling unit and the result sheets were not found. We have an instance of somebody getting to one polling unit in the Ekiti election and was issued a ballot paper which had already been thumb printed. We were raising all these issues to raise the consciousness of INEC. Now, the purpose of experience is to learn. If you have conducted by elections in 10 states, major circle election in 2 states, you must have studied these gaps, which IAGA Africa, the observer mission from the EU, the observer mission from the USA, all of them have identified as gaps, as worrying, red flags in our election. And we are asking INEC to address these issues because they must not be allowed to recur in Osun State. We want a free and fair election. We have an election. We want an election that the INEC chairman will be able to hold out to the whole world to say this is the new INEC, this is the new Nigeria. We want an election where anybody who loses that election, we know that he has lost fair and square. We want an election where people have the confidence to go out and cast their vote, believing that they will count. And only INEC and the security agencies can guarantee that happening in the Osun election on the 15th of August, 2026.
Honorable Bamdele Salam, who is the chair of the Imole Campaign Council, raising issues that are happening in Osun State, especially some of the violence that have been reported. But thanks so much indeed, Honorable Bamdele Salami, who is also a member of the House of Reps.
Thank you, Sean.
Please keep
safe.
And I'd like you and your friends who are in the political scene in Osun State to keep to the peace agreement in the state. Thank you so much indeed.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it. Let's switch gears now, everyone, and let's speak with the governor of Nasarawa State, who earlier today had visited Vice President Kashim Shettima, congratulating him for retaining or getting a nod to run with President Bola Tinubu as a running mate in the 2027 election. Governor Abdullahi Sule is live for us here in our studio. Your Excellency, thanks so much indeed for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure.
You were with the Vice President earlier with the mission of congratulating him for getting a nod. It does look like he almost slipped off his fingers, because there are those who believe that persons other than him was going to get a ticket, especially some Christians of APC stock.
Well, I don't know what other people were thinking, but Shewan, if you remember, I appeared on your program some time back, and you asked me if it was necessary, to have a change. And I told you that, as the Americans said, why fix it if it's not broken? So for me, I had no idea whatsoever in my mind that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has a tag team player with him. And that player is actually, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, who happens to be an excellent and reputable and someone who can work with him and represents him. And he has been doing that all along. So, and I'm happy that even though I wasn't in the country at the time, that's why when I came back, I went in today to congratulate him that it has turned out to be for our party. And I think that's a wonderful thing that has happened to our party.
You said he's wonderful. Opposition said he's awful.
Opposition will always say what they want to say, and that is normal for opposition actually to say. It was awful when we won the election in 2023. It will be awful to them when we are going to win the election 2027.
Do you think that it fits into the sensibility of the multicultural, multi-ethnic, and multi-religious sentiments of Nigerians at the polls?
We can take each one at a time.
So let's begin with the religious one, which is probably a major problem. And I had a guest here yesterday, Senator Kwankwaso, who doesn't think that he thinks that it's going to be an albatross for your party in 2027. It was a major issue, the Muslim ticket, and that those who think that your party is anti-Christianity.
I think it is normal for Senator Kwankwaso, who I respect a lot, to say that because he's opposition. He cannot say anything good, in that manner. So when he said that, it is expected of him to say that. I don't think you will tell me today that another governor within the APC is going to tell you is awful. Another governor is going to tell you is an albatross. Another governor. Let us look at this constitution that people keep talking about. It all actually happens in the section 14.3 of the constitution, where it's talking about, making sure that there is inclusiveness, there is actually representation, and there is all parts of the country that none of them is actually neglected. None of them is not carried along. And that's where federal character came in following, section 15 of the same constitution that also talk about now ethnicity. There is no place where it talk about religion. Section 14 didn't talk about religion. Section 15 didn't talk about religion. Now, let us look at the history in Nigeria. Let us even start with this particular one that you have just mentioned. This particular one that you have mentioned, it is the aspect, of saying that they were coming for the first time Muslim ticket, just like the late Abiola came in Muslim ticket, 1992 or so. So, and that's why they were called it. So, and you can see both elections, has been clear that the Muslim ticket has won. I pray that one day Nigeria will have Christian ticket and it will win. That's what I pray to see.
Do you have a Christian as a deputy or not?
I've always had a Christian as deputy.
Emmanuel Akabe?
In Nasarawa State, it has always been a Christian.
Why do you think it was important?
No. We thought it was important because Emmanuel Akabe is competent, is competent, and our state is different from Nasarawa State. It's different from Nigeria. You cannot take a particular state. Take Enugu, for instance. You have Christian. Take Bayelsa is Christian. Take this is Christian.
That's exactly the point, sir.
Yeah.
That the sensibility of the generality of the people is important. We're talking about a country where you have almost 50% Muslim, 50% Christian. And that those...
Are you saying that in also a place like Enugu, they are not sensible? Or Bayelsa or Akwa Ibom are not sensible?
That's what I'm saying. That I'm saying the sensibility of when you have an equal amount of religious beliefs and you've got to be able to respect that. And why would you consider, for example, having a northern deputy and a southern president? Is that not because of the sensibility of the ethnic diversity? And Nasarawa State, for example, you consider a Christian because you think that Christian population is also of a reasonable amount. You go to Enugu, there are probably 90-something% of Christian. That's why you have it there. There are those who think that your party will suffer.
In Niger, I heard you doing all the... In Niger, you have Muslim as governors.
Yeah, because of the population.
Population is 90.
You can't say that in Kwara. You can't say that in Benue. Because there are differences. And that's why I said I'm not saying issue of justice or fair. I'm saying sensibilities, because it is just fair for you to play a game that people feel they are being captured. And it does. And the question of people that those your party, those who are against your party in 2023, they raise and say your party doesn't seem to be very sensitive to some of these sentiments.
The party is extremely sensitive. One of the things people had was the fear of the unknown. Whether this Muslim ticket was going to be more pro-Muslim in all its activities or the other. That was the concern that we had. Like you rightly mentioned, Nasarawa State is a place where you have this kind of division, almost 50-50. And so I heard it from a lot of people who had mentioned that this party is going to make us a Sharia country. This party is going to make us this. This party is make us that. And we lost election as a result of all that fears that they had. Today, if you look at it, this government has gone 3 years. Have they done anything possible that is going to show that they are more pro-Muslim rather than anti-Christian? As a matter of fact, the closest people to the president today, if you look at it, the people who see him regularly and who manage their states, are the various state governors. Now, look at the number of governors who have moved from their party to join this so-called Muslim ticket. Bayelsa, Akwa Ibom. In fact, Akwa Ibom is even a pastor. Akwa Ibom, Delta, Taraba. All these governors are Christians. They are not Muslim. Are you saying they don't care about their people or they don't care about their religion?
Who perceive you as a very liberal man. The day you are seen as a jihadist and an extremist, yes, would you be worried?
I'm not one.
No, I'm saying, would you be worried?
No, if it is opposition...
And that's why there's a writer to it. I said, you are seen as a liberal man. And if you are perceived today as an extremist, would that worry you?
No, if it is opposition, it will not worry me. Because
the question, no, it's not even... Everyone who said, is the United States an opposition to Bola Tinubu? Yeah. Is he an opposition? Because the question is that the United States feels that Christians in Nigeria, there is a deliberate effort to subjugate the Christian faith in Nigeria. And would you say that the Americans who thought that is an optical issue?
You have entered a subject that you may not be able to come out easily. At what point did the Americans start thinking that? I just came back from America. At what point did the Americans start thinking that?
Does that bother your party or not?
No.
Your party raised,
it depends on the time
lobbies to be able to fight that narrative.
It depends on the time that Americans started thinking that.
There are several of the officials of this government who literally were living abroad just to clear that narrative that Nigeria or Tinubu government is not anti-Christian.
At the time of Abacha,
I'm saying that is something that is concerning.
At the time of Abacha, American government was anti-Nigeria. Was that a Muslim ticket? You see, America has its own interest, and it is called American interest. Period. Anything that goes contrary to American interest, America will fight it. It has nothing to do with Muslim ticket.
Including thinking that Bola Tinubu is not helping or supporting Christians in the hands of Islamic jihadis who are killing people in some parts of the country.
What I heard was a situation where President Trump at the White House commended the wife of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and called her a respected pastor, a respected religious leader.
You skip the timeline, sir.
Yes.
That is months after his first position.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying I have had that when you were saying...
No, and I say it's an optical problem. So it depends on how you look at it. And that's why I asked you the earlier question. Yeah. And that's what the introspection. And I'm asking this question not because I particularly think that I'm a Christian from Kwara State. I went to Quranic school with some of my friends when we were growing up. And I don't think less of a Muslim because I'm a Christian. And I have people who are, some of my closest friends are Muslims. And my belief and the way I see things are different. But we're talking about
that's the same way President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is, to the point where his wife is a pastor.
And you cannot preach that to everyone. You have to act it. That's why justice is not something that is only done, but must be seen to be done.
I think he has acted it in such a way where, in fact, a lot of Christian governors have agreed and have come to work with him. A lot of Christian governors have said, yes, we believe you are not anti-Christians.
Give us a reason, Governor, why any Nigerian should leave a Peter Obi Kwankwaso ticket, an Atiku Amechi ticket, and go with the ticket of a Muslim Bola Tinubu and a Muslim Shetima.
Oh, it's like bro, it's like day and night. You cannot even compare. If you look at the records of this president, if you look at the courage of this president, if you look at the performance of this president, if you look at the foresight, if you look at what has happened in the last 3 years, none of these people you have called has not held a position before. Now take that record, try to compare it with the records that I've just told you in the last 3 months. It's like day and night. You can't compare.
You've still not said the reason why they should.
I told you, performance. Courage, vision of this president. You know, if you look at the performance of what has happened in the last 3 years, you know, I know what you are going to throw out. Insecurity, as if insecurity started in 3 years. Okay? But if you look at his performance, even in the area of insecurity, and I'm happy I sat down here when you were discussing with General Musa, and General Musa told you that even security, you know, there is great improvement, and that's why some people are not happy and they are rumoring that he's resigning. Okay, so even in the so-called area of security that people actually are banging on, but you don't look at all the infrastructure that is happening in this country and say it ever happened. It's a dream. A lot of people will tell you that it's a dream. We never thought it will come. It will happen. If you look at some of the foresight today, people in the area of education, look at what Nelfund is doing today. You know, if you look at what is happening in the area today, you are talking about an area of our economy. What has happened? Look at the capital market that has grown 10 times today. That has never happened. So it depends on, that's why I say you cannot even compare. So you are trying to compare.
If I take you on, and I know you're very grounded in economics, I know this is going to be a very deep debate, but I'm ready for it tonight. If I take you on the issue of the economy, how do you defend a party and a government that cannot even defend 3 budgets consecutively, failed in the first budget, failed in the second one, failed in the third one, budget performance disaster.
What do you call fail?
So let me break it down for you, sir.
Yeah.
2025 budget, you passed on almost 70% of that budget into 2026. You said you were going to inject 30% and perform 30% of the 2025. And government, Ministry of Health, for example, came out to say we got a meager less than 1% of the budget allocation to it in one calendar year. Isn't that not a disaster and a disappointment for the kind of thing that your party said it wants to do?
No, it's not. And that's why I said, ask me what is fail, and then I explain to you.
Failure of performance of budget.
No.
2023, disaster. 2024, disaster.
Which segment?
2025, disaster.
Which segment?
And I'm talking about budget performance. I'm not even going deeper into...
Are there areas of this budget performance where it has been 80%, where it has been close to 100%? Yeah, is that, and then some other areas where it's 10%, 20%, 30%. Are there areas?
Let's even start, Governor, with and I know you're a very strong advocate, only that recently you now defend President Bola Tinubu, try to shy away from some of that. You are the one who accepts some of the ills and failures of your party in the past, but it does look like you do a better job than some of the spokespersons of the federal government. But Governor, look at it. And I know some of you governors benefit a lot from Bola Tinubu's policies because you now get a lot of money. But the question is that, yes, a lot of money is coming into the coffers of the federal government, yet there is a poor injection of capital flow for government to do infrastructure and development and governance.
And I'm saying you are talking of in totality. You are not looking at segments. Budgets are not operated like that. Budgets are operated in certain segments. I will even tell you, I will be so practical in this. Say Ministry of Culture, how much is it getting? Say Ministry of Defense, how much is it getting? Say Ministry of Education, how much is it getting? Say Ministry of Health, how much is it getting? Ministry of Works, Infrastructure, how much? So that's the way you have to find the average of this.
So Bola Tinubu has designed and modeled his own way of implementing the budget.
No, everybody has done that. Everyone. I will pick myself. You come to Nasarawa State and say that we have budgeted 36% of our budget going to education. How much so far did go there in the year 2015? Based on the availability. You remember, budget is in and out. Budget is in and out. It's saying that I'm going to make so amount of money, and I'm going to spend that amount of money. I'm going to borrow so amount of money. I'm going to complement what I'm earning in order to do that. So if any of these two inputs are not correct, are not meeting the point, then the output will also be in the same manner.
Because the government says in one breath, very confusing and very contradictory. We're earning more money now. NRS is getting more money, Customs is getting more money, but yet the Ministry of Health, as important as it is, complaining. Finance Ministry is owing contractors, local contractors who have done jobs. It's an audio performance government. It's an audio performance that we're seeing. We hear it, but not seeing it. I
don't know about audio. You go ahead, you are picking up certain segments to say that. I remember, and let me tell you this. I remember, I read in the papers, in the media, that they say, how come some segments have performed 100%? They have gotten their money 100%, and some other people have gotten 20%. And that's the direction I was taking.
It's a half-assed way. It's a very wishy-washy way of doing things.
No,
you focus on this one that interests you. You give a lot of money for Lagos Coastal Way, and you abandon those. This is a very disastrous way of running government. If you leave the economy, you go to security. More people have been killed under this government in the last 3 years than we've seen in the last other 3 years before this government came into power.
What?
The figure says so.
Insecurity, and I'm not doubting you. I'm not arguing with you on that because I don't know that. If you say that you have the numbers.
Yeah, the facts are there. I will read it out
to you. I haven't changed. I'm the same person. So if you say there are something there with facts and figures, I will not argue with you on that. I argue on things that I know. I argue on things that I'm sure. I argue the thing that there is no ambiguity whatsoever as far as I'm concerned. So, and that's why I'm telling you that I did not agree with the issue of budget being a disaster, being a failure, being a this, and those were my reasons. Now, if you say there are certain segments that the payment did not perform, there are other areas it had performed, I say, okay, I agree with you, because that's exactly the fact. And I was able to get the word out of you when you say that, How come we're overfunding, Lagos, Calabar, and this, and we are not funding Enugu, Calabar? So I understand your argument. These are the kinds of statements that will come out of people who are in opposition. They will send it to you, and then maybe you will say it. So I think that's where we are, Shaun. As far as we are concerned, I think when it comes to this budget, issue in the state, when it comes to the issue, why are you now telling me that we have the best foreign reserve in the past 4 or 5 years, that we have not seen? Why are you not saying that one? Because that's the reality. That's a fact. Why are you not saying that for the past 10, 15 years, Nigeria had not had 1.7, 1.8 million barrels production a day? Today we have that. Why are you not saying that? So it is not like all the way bad everywhere. Why are you not saying that in this same Nigeria, the total capitalization of the capital market was only about 8 to 10 trillion. Today we are talking of 100 trillion. Why are you not saying that? So these are the facts on the table.
Give me a moment, sir.
I will.
We'll take a break, but when we come back, is the lithium, I wish that you have some in your pocket. Is it audio lithium or lithium for real? We'll be coming back to talk about more on the governance of Nigeria, that of Nasarawa State, and my guest tonight on the politics of 2027. We'll be right back, everyone.
Malaria? Again?
I'm beginning to think this malaria is spiritual.
Madam Landlady, there is nothing spiritual about this. It is obvious you've not taken the right medication.
Luta contains artemether and lumefantrine, and it's used to treat malaria.
Hey, Oga Luta, thank you for your intervention the other day. I feel very okay now.
Luta is another quality product from Hovid and marketed by Pharmatex Nigeria Limited.
With Luta, malaria is in big trouble.
The Renewed Hope agenda is working across Nigeria. Roads are improving, communities are growing, and development is reaching the grassroots. In Ondo State, GMT is taking the message of hope to all 203 wards through Jigi Ashiwaju Medical Outreach, free eye care and eyeglasses, Elosoloja market empowerment, sports programs, women empowerment initiatives, and unit and ward meetings across the state. From our towns to our villages, the Hausa, Igbo, and Ibira communities have also declared their support for the re-election of Mr. President, affirming their belief in the Renewed Hope agenda. One good turn deserves another. Let's keep the progress going. Together, let's support Mr. President for a greater Nigeria. GMT, in God we trust.
In today's economy, no organization wins alone. Competitive advantage lives across networks, partners, and ecosystem. Yet many leaders struggle with partner alignments, governance challenges, and loss of value across alliances. The leaders who win master ecosystem strategy and alliance leadership. Join TechSem's winning in the age of ecosystem on the 24th to 27th of August 2026 at Delta by Marriott, York, UK. Learn from Professor Vin van Haverbeek, Professor Nick Cheeseman, and John Peters how to orchestrate powerful partnerships that unlock new growth. Fee is 9.5 million naira. For more information, contact the number on your screen or send a mail to the email on your screen.
For years, we believed that world class meant far away. In healthcare, precision is everything. But the distance between you and exceptional care has just disappeared. We don't just practice medicine, we are driven by high standards. At Duchess International Hospital, we've brought the world's most advanced technology and global expertise right to the heart of Lagos, where cutting-edge technology meets the warmth of Nigerian hospitality. Recover in our warm, hospitable wards and dedicated physio units designed for your comfort and recovery. For VIP patients, our exclusive Royal Suites offer comfort and privacy. From complex cardiac procedures to premium wellness checks. No visas, no long flights, just family by your side. Exceptional healthcare isn't only across the ocean anymore. It's here. Duchess International Hospital, world-class care here at home. Experience the new standard.
Excuse me, ma. This is your 100% human
Babes, are you sure you want to spend this much on hair?
Since your landlord just increased rents, I saved for this one separately on money points.
Ma, you say you save on money points?
Yes.
This madam money points here, the array of your dryer there, his target savings money points I used to have it. The rest of this my sub, his fees savings money points I used to do it. The salary of this my staff is save as you transact.
Jennifer, money points save as you transact. Money points fixed savings and money point target savings.
What's up? Why did I tell you what to do to you? Why should I? Come on, oh, you go give your money to Hadaku to stay. You see money points accounts here. You know go open a savings account. Now Hadaku you shoot. I beg everybody inside this my salon. Oh, yeah, bring out your phone and download the money points hack now. Even you. What are you waiting for? Download the money points hack now. Hadaku, wow, open money points account.
Money Point, made for your progress.
You have gotten the contract.
Have you checked for red flags?
Red flag. What is a red flag? Allowing your company to fall into inactive status on the Corporate Affairs Commission portal is a red flag. Businesses marked inactive may come under watch for suspicious activities, money laundering, kidnapping, or terrorism financing.
Red flags. We have filed our annual returns with the CAC.
Ensure your company remains active. File your annual returns every year. Corporate Affairs Commission, keeping your business safe and compliant.
My name is Austin Azoko Kocha, but you all call me JJ. That's because I was so unstoppable, they named me twice. Those days, there were times when it was difficult for me to perform. But you know what? I never stayed down. I remained unstoppable. No one could stop me, not even malaria when mosquito bites. Now you too can be unstoppable if you use Lonart against malaria.
Now available in a new design. Same Lonart, same unstoppable you.
For staying with us. Governor of Nasarawa State, Engineer Abdullahi Sule, has been speaking with us on the program. Thanks so much, Your Excellency, for joining us tonight on the program. 5 years ago, you grew the IGR of Nasarawa State from 7 billion. In 2023, it went to about 28 billion. And from what we understand, it's gone to about 31 billion as at the last measurement. That meant that from 7 billion over the last 8 years, you've grown the IGR of the state to about 31 billion. From what I hear, the IGR is now in the range of 24, 25 billion as we speak, and the year is still running. There was a time that if you ask anyone who is the governor of Nasarawa State, they may not be able to know. But you have successfully put out the name and the profile of Nasarawa State on the global map. Maybe because you are a Houston man, you're an American. We work in the oil and gas, but kudos. One thing that drew my attention, particularly to some of the development, is your interest in natural resources and exploiting them. Lithium is one thing that, and you and I have had conversations about lithium. Give us an understanding, Engineer Sule, of the success story. You've been talking about lithium for almost 7 years. We have lithium now fabricated, processed out of Nasarawa State.
Thank you very much. Let me make a little correction in the last statement you made. I'm very lucky that I have a team. All these efforts are not the efforts of just Governor A.A. Sule, are efforts of the team that we have been put together.
Led by Sule.
Well, led by Sule, yes. To be able to achieve what we achieved. So, and I continue to thank the team for the wonderful job that we have been able to do together, including my deputy governor, my secretary to the state government, the head of revenue, and the rest of that. Now, coming back to your question, Nasarawa State, in fact, that's our own mantra. We are a state of solid minerals, but it has always been just like the one you mentioned, you said there are two kinds of money, right? There is money that you do is just voice money. Is it voice money?
Audio money.
Audio money. So it's like we had audio minerals, and then we had real.
Because I was expecting you were going to bring a little rock as some of the processed lithium. I'm expecting the Zamfara governor, whatever is on the show, to bring the evidence of the gold that the state is cashing on, because you have projected yourself to be the lithium capital of the country.
That's correct. And we thank God that is there. But that is not to say that lithium is found only in Nasarawa state. As a matter of fact, you can find lithium in roughly about 10 states of the Federation. But we have been lucky for several reasons, to be able to project our own lithium. And today we have not only the biggest processing company in Africa, we also have the biggest in Nigeria. So we have two. We have one that is just 3,000 metric tons per annum that we are bragging that it was the biggest in Nigeria. Now we have the 6,000, which is now the biggest in Africa. So that's what it is there. And we are so glad that we found investors who believe in us. We found all our system convenient enough, who found our environment conducive enough, and who found our lithium quality enough, to come in and invest the kind of money that they are investing. But they are not just investing this money, they are also investing in our people. Today, if you go to Endo, today if you go to Nasarawa local government, today if you go to parts of Udege, you can find, people from Nasarawa state operating some machines that they have never operated before. In fact, they had never seen before in their life. And for me, that's the happiest moment for me. The moment I go, being an engineer, and then I go and I see engineers or technicians, that are operating some of the more sophisticated machines. The new lithium plant by New Diamond Energy, which is the 6,000 that you are seeing, it is using the latest technology of processing that is just out. Some of the machines, in fact, are being operated there for the first time that they are being brought to Africa. So those are the kinds of good things that we are seeing. And of course, the money is also coming. And that's why you mentioned the IGR that you see we are making at the moment. And then Nasarawa State is now considered, among the states that are top first.
One of the easiest way to understand the importance of this is this. If you have a power bank, there is an element of lithium in it. If you have, like this, for example, the battery that powers this iPad, your computer, your telephone are powered by lithium. Is usually known as an igniting force. Is an igniting element. Is a power. Is seen for so many things. In fact, medications, lithium it could be responsible for manufacturing. Lithium is your electric vehicles. Lithium. That's how important lithium is.
Correct.
They are mining lithium under the foot of the Nasarawa indigents.
Correct.
Under their soil. But how many sustainable jobs have actually been created? Because tonight, I will be happy if you are able to tell me how many jobs Nasarawa people have been able to get. Poverty rate is still high in your state. Underemployment is still high. Unemployment is still high. How are the Nasarawa people able to benefit? Yes, there is lithium coming out of their state, but they are poor.
Well, the community is not poor where this lithium is being done. That community in particular is not fair.
But the money is going to just a few people.
No, it is going to the entire community. Let me tell you, the Endo community had only 3.5 cadastral units, 3.5, where the original operation started. But the entire people in the community were not more than 2,000 people. The first money that went to those people was 750 million naira that went to that community. It's a community that had never seen 10 million of their own. 750 million went to the community without government making 1 naira out of it. It went to the community for the consent letter that came in. So wealth went into that community.
You talked about the agro. You had a conversation with the VP on the agro.
Yeah, agro today, but finally, the report by the technical committee, the technical working group, actually was approved, and sent. So now it is for implementation. Agro is a $500 million project supported by the World Bank. And World Bank was also there at the meeting with us today. So, of course, I was the only governor present, but there was deputy governor of Kaduna. And then because it's 6 states, actually, that were elected to
Will you be able to get this before you get out of office?
The money?
The money, yeah.
Oh, yes.
What will you be planting?
No. It's not what we are planting. What
Because what concerns me, hearing this money, I'm thinking what the average person gets to get out of this.
Good. Now
this is my own point of contention.
Now agro is for average. Agro is for average. The whole idea about the agro, is that this amount of money will be deducted based on the credit of a state that they are getting. And that money is going to go purely for the small-scale farmers. Purely for them. It's not even for the for commercial farmers. Yeah. It is for the small-scale farmers. They are going to be that, but the state is going to be the guarantor. And what they are encouraging from the World Bank side is to have a lot of these holders so that they can now be the outgrowers of major. And Nasarawa came top because of the fact that we have big companies, such as for rice, such as Olam. Olam actually needs a lot of rice from outgrowers. So that's where the outgrowers have their working capital for that. That's the idea.
We need to go. And I'd like to ask you this question. You are confident you're going to be in the Senate. But what if President Tinubu loses?
If he loses?
What would you do?
Loses to what?
To Atiku or to Peter Obi?
No. He will lose from. If he is losing, he's losing to go back to the presidential villa. As far as we are concerned, you call it win or lose. The man is going to the presidential villa. He has won the election.
You people are planning to rig the election.
He has won that election.
You've designed all out to rig the election.
No. It's not a design. His performance, his number. The man has 31 governors right now working for him.
Governors don't win elections.
Governors are the leaders.
Who have lost election.
Governors are how many have lost election?
You lost election the last time. The SDP defeated your party.
I never lost election.
There are several of your APC states that lost to opposition the last time.
They have lost.
It's not guaranteed that you're a sitting governor, you must win.
No, it's not guaranteed. But what I'm saying is that, if my own case, because I better clarify so you will know that, I was declared the winner by INEC, and then now opposition took me to the, tribunal. And the tribunal now went 2 against 1, okay? Saying that 2 said I lost, 1 said I won. We went to the Court of Appeal. Court of Appeal, all the 3 judges said that the tribunal was talking rubbish. You have won your election. We went to the Supreme Court, 5 judges said, you are talking, no, you have won the election. So I think that's where it is.
Governor Abdullah Sule, I will declare you the official spokesperson of Bola Tinubu campaign.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You do so well preaching Bola Tinubu to this country.
No, preaching our party.
Thank you so much indeed. Governor of Nasarawa said I appreciate it. And I wish you the very best in Nasarawa.
Thank you so much.
That's our show for today, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Kimale. God bless you.
Tourism has the potential to become one of Nigeria's strongest engines of growth, creating jobs, boosting local economies, and showcasing the country's cultural and historical wealth to the world. This is the thinking behind the Constitutional Amendment Bill. Nigeria's tourism sector remains largely underdeveloped, despite its significant potential across culture, across history, across wildlife, arts, entertainment, natural attractions. This proposal is designed to change that by giving both the federal government and state government clear constitutional authority to regulate, to develop, and to promote tourism. Under the proposed amendments, the National Assembly would have the power to make laws on the regulation, on the development, and then the promotion of tourism across the Federation. So this includes minimum standard, regulating tourism activities, and ensuring coordinated national framework for the sector. At the state level, houses of assembly will also have the authority to take direct action within their territories. This includes establishing and developing tourism facilities, creating state tourism authorities, managing tourist sites, and promoting local cultural and historical attractions. It also opens the door for states to design tourism strategies that reflect their unique identity as well as economic strengths. Think about it. From cultural festivals in the north, to coastal tourism in the south, to heritage sites across different regions, each state could play a more active role in developing tourism as a source of revenue and a source of employment. The expected impact goes beyond sightseeing. A stronger tourism sector can support hospitality, transportation, entertainment, craft, and small businesses, creating ripple effects across local economies. So supporters of this proposal argue that this approach will help unlock Nigerians' tourism potential, encourage competition and innovation among states, and create as well as contribute to broader economic diversification. The bill ultimately seeks to reposition tourism not just as a cultural asset, but as a strategic economic sector shared between federal and state governments. As this proposal moves through the constitutional amendment process, it invites us to reimagine tourism not as a leisure industry alone, but as a powerful tool for economic transformation. Nigeria's greatest tourist attractions are not only the places we have, but the stories we carry, the culture we preserve, and the experiences we create. When properly developed, tourism does more than attract visitors. It creates jobs, stimulates investment, strengthens communities, and projects the best of our nation to the world. Because every tourist site developed is an opportunity unlocked. Every cultural asset preserved is a legacy protected. And every visitor welcomed is another chapter in Nigeria's story shared with the world. So, tourism is not merely about showing people where we are. It is about showing the world who we are and creating prosperity and the richness of our identity.
Good evening and welcome to News Track on Channels Television. I'm Anne Nwawado. Our top stories this hour. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mr. Lateef Fagbemi, is calling on anti-corruption institutions across West Africa to break what he describes as a silence of financial crime, saying that the region's rapidly evolving criminal landscape